key. We good. Didn't know what that was going to look like. Pleasantly surprised. Go grab your stuff, Dave, and get to the tree. You got everything?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. October 4th, back down at Area 52. Dave and I are walking in. Getting in a little bit late tonight, or I should say later than I want to. We got time yet, but I had a hectic day at work, was just kind of busy and was kind of late getting communication over to Dave and Gavin and the guys. So, but tonight's just one of those nights where I had an opportunity with an east wind to come down and sit the pond, where I easily could be sitting at home right now and working on some other stuff, or I'm sure Dave has work to get done too, but east wind tonight, opportunity to hunt the pond, so we're gonna work our way down there and get all set up, and maybe this warmer weather will have them come get a drink of water tonight. Alright guys, Dave and I are all set up finally. It's right at 5:30 right now. It was a mad scramble to get down here tonight, and we were joking about whether or not we were going to be set up before 6 o'clock, because Dave and Gavin hunted the other night and they were creeping around 6 o'clock being set up, so I beat Gavin, so that's win number 1 tonight. East wind blowing right in our face right now. I just had to come sit in the pond. It's been pretty slow on camera. I think one of the things that's been playing an impact the last several days on camera down here is that there's been 2 or 3 coyotes that have been right out here in the plot the last 3 or 4 days in a row. I'm thinking they're probably leaving some scent down in there that's deterring some deer from coming into this plot. This is actually a different wind than I typically hunt this set on. In the past, what I've done is I use a southeast wind or even just a straight south wind, and then there's a ditch off to our north that you can play the thermal game and suck those thermals right down into that ditch. But tonight we have standing corn to our south, and then it's a northeast wind, so essentially it's blowing right here. We're giving up just a little bit back behind us, but historically they always want to come from the east, or they're coming from the north when we're hunting this set. You know, I don't know if in the future when that corn's picked, I don't know if we'll be able to hunt it on a northeast wind, but it feels very easterly right now where it's coming across. Feels pretty good. Plot looks really cool. It's cool for the first time to be sitting down here. We're still trying to figure out this setup. Dave's sitting in the saddle tonight, so this is the first time we've had the saddle with 2 people in this tree, and it's tight. I mean, I talked about that when I hung this set. I knew it was going to be tight. But regardless, October 4th, feels good to be out in a tree. It's right at 6:30 right now. Definitely learned a few lessons tonight. As I said in my opener, this is the first time I've ever sat this stand with a northeast wind. felt pretty good about it this entire time, and we had kind of a little flurry of activity going on because I thought I spotted something out in the field. It was running along the field. I didn't know what it was, but glassed it real quick and couldn't see anything. And then just moments later, Dave ended up seeing a coyote that came, it looked like from the cornfield, and then worked its way back to the trail. You know, I'm eating those words pretty quick on a lot of times they don't walk this trail back behind us, but of course, you know, right after that coyote come through, we were just kind of sitting here chit-chatting about that, and then we started to hear, it sounded like a doe blowing off to our west. I mean, basically dead downwind. So, I don't know, I guess there could be an off chance that she was blowing at that coyote, but, I mean, she's perfectly downwind. So, I think we'll just make a mental note of that in the future, that, you know, this is probably a south or southeast wind set, and then just keep it like that. So, I don't know, there's still time yet. I thought the wind was supposed to die down right before dark. It's, you know, probably a 12 mile-an-hour breeze right now. Still got, you know, over half an hour, about 40 minutes left of legal shooting. Feels good out. I mean, gosh, it feels like fall right now. Maybe we'll see some movement yet, but first few hunts have been a little rough down in Area 52, so we'll see. Surprised they're still eating on the beans. Usually once those beans turn brown, I don't want anything to do with them for a while. That's so cool to see them like that. We are down to our just last few minutes of legal shooting light right here, and it's getting pretty dark pretty quick here with this being in the shade most of the evening. This is a spot where it gets dark pretty quick and we lose the sunlight here pretty quickly. So ended up seeing 4 does, and we actually had a group of wood ducks come flying into the pond, so that's something that's pretty rewarding for me to be able to see that. So tomorrow, one of the things I'm excited to get back down here to Area 52 for is we're actually going to put fish in the pond. So my wife and I were going to make a trip over to south central Iowa, get some fish, bring them back out here. So I'll make sure to get some footage of that. But regardless, this was a fun set to be able to come down here and finally have a butt in the seat on the spot down here in Area 52 on the pond. Cool to see this all come together. Fish on board. All right, what we got? Other side.
Cat?
Yep.
Oh.
All right, we're just finishing up getting the fish in the pond here. That was fun. That was a cool experience to have with my wife down here on the property, and that's something that we've been talking about for quite some time now, is getting fish down here in this pond and just kind of all-encompassing land management, land ownership. And this is just going to give us another reason to spend down here, you know, during the summer time frame down here on the property, where you know, maybe months that we wouldn't be down here. Allows us opportunity to bring family, friends down here to fish in the future. And just one more, you know, part of management that I'm probably going to overanalyze and overthink in the future, but love it. Love every second of this. This was fun to be able to do that today. A breakdown of essentially what we put in there. So we did bluegills, we did hybrid bluegills, which is a cross, red-eared bluegills, red-eared sunfish is what I should say, largemouth bass, 2 grass carp, and then minnows is what we incorporated in. In the future, if I wanted to, I could put some crappie in here potentially too, but we'll see how it looks next year, because really I could walk away from this right now, let them do their thing for a couple years and see if I need a supplement. But it's cool to be done with this one, and this is just gonna be another part of this pond project down here in Area 52. Gonna switch out a few cameras real quick, just adjust a few things, and then we're gonna get something to eat. Fun day at the farm. Well, here we go. October 6th, first sit on the Last Chance farm. We are finally set up, and it's just before 5 o'clock right now. And I don't know, if I was giving us the benefit of the doubt, I think if a deer would have came in 20 minutes ago, I think we would have figured out a way to make it happen, but we're still kind of nestling into this shingle oak. I think between pin oaks and shingle oaks, they're 2 of my favorite trees to set up in, because they got so many branches. And the downfall is they have so many branches. So there's a lot of usage of the saw. Just they'll self-prune their limbs. So a lot of times there's so many dead limbs on your way up that you just got to get those out of the way. But I like how this is setting up. I feel like we're nestled in here really well. Visibility is not really great right now, other than out in the plot. But as these leaves continue to fall, you know, this is something that the visibility will continue to pick up, and this will be a stand that I'll be glad to have hung and out of the way. So essentially we have everything off to our front with a north wind hitting us directly in the face, and it feels pretty good right now. And we have just a little itty bitty, maybe, I don't know, 1/3 of an acre, maybe even not that big of a pond right off to our south. So this is a cool setup. This is a spot where it seems like during the rut, this could be one where you have a buck come out right in front of you. And I don't think we got any footage of him, but when I was mid hanging the sticks, I looked off in the plot, and there was actually a buck that naturally worked its way through, and he looked pretty good. Definitely not a buck I've had on camera down here, but regardless, cool to see one down here. So we're gonna be quiet for a little while. We need to just kind of settle in, and it's pretty windy. And this isn't that big of a diameter tree, you know, maybe, I don't know, 10-inch diameter tree with two of us in it. When the wind picks up pretty good, it's moving, jostling pretty good. It's like that scene on Beverly Hills Ninja where it's back and forth a little bit. But we're gonna quiet down for a little while. Wind's supposed to die down a little bit too, so I'm gonna be constantly monitoring the wind tonight. I know that that's gonna be a constant battle down here on the Last Chance property. Nothing else, it feels good to be down here in the stand, and first set down here, I'm excited about it. We're down to our last 20 minutes legal shooting light. Things have really calmed down now. Unfortunately, the one thing that's happened though at the same time is that the activity in the neighborhood's really picked up too. So they got like a construction project going on or something that, don't get me wrong, I think I was telling Dave just a few minutes ago that as the saw's going off, I'm sure you can hear that. But I was just telling Dave that, you know, deer can get used to a lot of stuff, especially with humans and, you know, living, coexisting side by side. Although I don't think that that is helping our chances tonight. I think if there were deer that were going to move through this plot, they would still move through with the activity. I mean, that building's relatively close proximity to where we're at, so they hear activity over there quite a bit. So I'm not going to let that discourage me from moving forward. I would love to be able to get south access on this location. The one thing that stinks about where we're set up at is that we have to walk through a portion of the farm. So who knows, maybe at the end of the night tonight we might work our way over and see if they're still working, maybe see if we can't talk to them a little bit and maybe get permission. But I think that's probably a better conversation to have during the day and not show up in the dark. So I'm going to try to be tactful about how I approach that, but we'll show you if anything else comes out tonight. Otherwise, I got sort of a busy week at work where I'm going to be out of the area for a little bit, so I'm going to be a little spotty on how I can get out. But potentially hunt tomorrow night, and then maybe if I keep my fingers crossed, maybe Wednesday night. But it's just going to depend on things, how they fall, and then what Dave and Gavin and Rye have going on too, because we're all kind of working together on the cameraman duties this year. So I'm looking forward to getting behind the camera a little bit, but regardless, it was fun to spend some time down here. Definitely making some notes on my phone of stuff I want to get down here in the coming weeks and months to enhance this property and continue to invest in this investment, which is something I'm really looking forward to. Do you have any light left at all? You can try to switch it over to infrared if you want, just to try to build a little bit. good job of getting a lot of bugs inside the cab of my truck. But no, we're just getting back to the truck right now, and I mean, just to be 100% honest, I don't feel really great about how we exited tonight. I feel like we made a decent amount of disturbance, and I don't know, I made sort of a weighted decision right there at the end that I was going to adjust that cutty back that was sitting on that plot. I wanted to make sure I was getting a little bit more of that plot, so I got down there, and I don't know, I feel like it was a herd of elephants getting out of there tonight, which isn't ideal, but new property, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to access. Getting in's okay, getting out's the other part, you know, type of thing, so I think it's going to come down to some calculated risk. But we did see 3 does. I think Dave got, you know, maybe some footage right at the end of the last one that came through. But there was 3 or 4 of them that were milling through there, and just pretty late activity, which is pretty normal this time of the year. Regardless, it was good to be out, and then we'll continue with the plan of I'm going to try to string together a few hunts, just maybe spotty this week, maybe Monday, Wednesday, and hunt when I can, and then hopefully get some mature bucks on camera because it's been pretty slow here lately. So hopefully it's going to pick up in as we approach the middle part of October here.